Good morning, my name is Sophia Bork and I am a proud member of Park Pride's Board of Directors and the Community Engagement Director at the Sarah J. Gonzalez Park. As a previous Inspiration Award winner myself, I am truly honored and excited to join you today to announce the 2021 recipients of Park Pride's annual Inspiration Awards. This year's honorees include 5 amazing individuals whose work demonstrates a profound commitment to creating open, accessible, and welcoming green spaces for all to enjoy. To be a successful park leader takes patience, persistence, and a whole lot of grit. And Patrick Noonan, our first Inspiration Award winner, has all 3. Patrick is a leader of the Friends of W.D. Thomson Park, a beautiful 29-acre nature park in unincorporated DeKalb County. For nearly a decade, Patrick has rallied community members to participate in monthly park volunteer days to clear the park of invasive species, an effort that has revealed a peaceful oasis in the middle of the city that rivals those of Appalachia.
What makes the park really unique is the woods. We've got many acres of wooded trails that really it feels like you're in the mountains of North Georgia. We've spent the vast majority of our first 8 years removing invasives. Like a sculptor who finds the sculpture inside the block of marble. By removing the invasives, the privet, the elaeagnus, and others, we discovered and uncovered some wonderful spaces and places that we now have, in the past couple years, have now started to try to inhabit better by reworking the trail system, building some new bridges, putting in some new maps to encourage people to explore. When we first started looking at this 10 years ago, it seemed impossible because there was so much privet that was growing every year, ivy creeping out every year, so much to do. Where do you start? You have to remember the old adage, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. If this park can be transformed in the way that we've been able to do it, everyone should have some hope.
Thank you, Patrick, for your words of encouragement for all future and aspiring park leaders. One bite at a time, folks. Take it one bite at a time. We truly appreciate your watchful and attentive leadership at W.D. Thomson Park, Patrick. Congratulations on your award. Turning now to the South River Gardens community on the south side of Atlanta, where passion is the foundation of Miss Shirley Nichols' efforts on behalf of her community. For the last 30 years, Miss Nichols has been fighting to preserve green space in her neighborhood, which lacked parks where children could play and adults and seniors could commune. Today, because of her unrelenting advocacy, not 1, but 2 new parks are in the works that will serve her community and the Atlanta community at large. Miss Nichols and a steering committee of neighbors are participating in Park Pride's Park Visioning program to create a conceptual master plan for a small neighborhood park along Hutchens Road. And just a few streets away, the City of Atlanta's Department of Parks and Recreation is preparing for the opening of the Lake Charlotte Nature Preserve, a 216-acre nature park.
It's hard to explain how blessed we are, how grateful we are. There are a lot of people that worked on this and made it happen. And so we're happy. We are happy about this. I think it's important that every community have a park. It's that key place that draws the people in the neighborhood together, the adults, the children, elderly, the seniors, where you have trees and it smells fresh and clean and you can run. My love for nature comes from growing up in the woods. and that's where all the kids played. We swam in the creek and throw rocks, and snakes would go to the side, and we pass on by, and I think that laid the foundation for me. I just always loved that kind of environment.
Though there are 2 new parks on the horizon, Miss Nichols isn't done yet. She's keeping her eyes open for opportunities to make green space accessible to the segments of her neighborhood on the other side of 285. Thank you, Miss Nichols, for your belief in the power of parks. For Lou Clymore, it all began when some pesky kudzu overran corn that neighbors had planted in their backyard. Something had to be done. For the next 30 years, Lou worked to turn Tapestry, a privately held but publicly accessible green space in Atlanta's Ormwood Park, into a thriving nature park and certified wildlife sanctuary for everyone, humans, birds, bugs, and otherwise, to enjoy. Over the years, she has worked closely with Trees Atlanta, the Atlanta Community Food Bank, and Georgia Audubon to make the most out of this 7-acre green space. Now 82 years old, Lou has no plans of stopping.
The pandemic has brought in people who said, "Can we come see your property?" And we said, "It's open." Early on, I realized that we'd moved into a nature preserve. Everything we do is keeping in mind wildlife, the birds, literally the birds and the bees, and future generations, and our health, of course. It gets us off our rear ends, off of the couch. Parks do, open space does. So it keeps me alive, the work ahead of us, and organizing neighbors. There's something every week to discover. We saw a shorebird, a solitary sandpiper of all things. And I think, again, I can't leave this earth. I don't know those birds. I've got to learn them.
In addition to the birds and plants that Lou still needs to learn, she is also focused on establishing a conservation easement for Tapestry that will protect it indefinitely, and cultivating the next generation of stewards to preserve the spirit and intention of this special place well into the future. Next, Chris Alasa didn't know what he was getting himself into when he volunteered during a neighborhood association meeting to take on a leadership role at Night Park. But he wholeheartedly threw himself into the job and has excelled at making space for every voice in the community to be heard. Chris's ability to bring people together, to share their gifts and talents, to propel the vision of the park forward is unmatched. The Friends of Night Park recently completed Phase 3 of their renewal plan out of 13 phases. And Chris is committed to finishing what he has started and seeing the complete renewal of this park through to the very end.
The thing that keeps me motivated is coming out here to the park, looking at the park, and I guess just wanting more. You know, you come here and people are excited. They're happy. There's more people playing basketball than I've ever seen. There's more kids and families playing on the playground than I've ever seen. I think the tie between the community and park is important because the park is an expression of the community. The park is the dream of the community. The park is the collective imagination of the community. what if we could really transform this park so when people drive through the neighborhood, they were like, wow, you know, these people love this community. These people want to be here. They want to like make something good. These people love the park. That's park pride right there.
That is park pride indeed. Chris, your love for your community is evident in all that you do. Thank you for all of your efforts thus far, your can-do attitude, and your sense of humor. It's time to meet this year's final Inspiration Award winner, Jake Walls of Fork Creek Mountain Park. Jake gives 110% of herself to her community, on and off the clock. As a firefighter and EMT, she understands the positive impact of parks on our health and what it means to be there for your neighbor. And all of her efforts at Fork Creek Mountain Park in DeKalb are focused around building a strong community that is there for each other and supporting each other.
I think parks in general are important because it gets kids out the house. That's the most important thing, if you ask me, is sun. Vitamin D, especially during this pandemic. What's the first thing they said? Get your immune system up and get you some sun. A lot of women or older women or, you know, older men in this community come out here and just walk and just sit and just relax and just chill all day. To the point where when I come out throughout the day, I'm seeing and meeting everybody in my community just by being in the park. And that's another good reason also. So you get to know your community, meet people in your community, start becoming a united community. And I think that's what parks do. The advice I would give for someone that wants to make a difference in their park would be just have patience. Don't give up. Take your time, because once it's done, it will last. And that is what's important. The race is not given to the swift, but the one that does endure.
Thank you for those words of wisdom, Jake. You've got so much planned for your community, and we know that your biggest accomplishments are yet to come. Congratulations to all this year's Inspiration Award winners, and thank you for leading the way for park stewardship and advocacy.